Hey, guess what? We're not dead. It's the Richmond Gooners podcast. It's a late start, but we're starting nonetheless. It is match week 10 away to Leicester. I am your host, Ryan, here with Tom.
Happy Halloween, everybody.
And with Joey.
Back in black!
There you go. All the songs sound the same here. So, yeah, like I said, it's been a late start to the season for, reasons, but we're here. And what better way to pick up this season's podcast than after a just dominant performance away against Leicester
and a 9-game unbeaten run.
Yeah,
let's go.
I mean, I felt like we had a chance today because after you get past the top 3 teams, everybody's kind of just in this jumble and anybody can win.
Yep.
I did not expect a performance like that out of us, so that was great to watch from the start.
From us and a team that most are saying these days are on par with us, that we should be comparing ourselves to this team. We were absolutely dominant today. They didn't even look threatening, bar from maybe 5 total minutes in the game.
And a lot of people have said that Leicester are the team that we should be aspiring to. That Brendan Rodgers is the manager that we need, and he's got the players that we should have, and all that. And all that is gone
James
now.
Madison was absolutely quieted today.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like he was in when Thomas Partey empties his pockets after the game. He'll find James Madison.
Good luck emptying the pockets when he's wearing those skin-tight pants that he's wearing in his 2 bad tights. We might touch on that later for those watching on News Channel 8. We'll pull up a picture here.
We should do something more for the ladies, and maybe that's some content they're interested in.
Yeah, ladies, if you're listening, it's a hell of a dick print.
It is.
And some men, too.
You never know. But anyway, because this is our first pod and it is week 10, I think this week's game takes a little bit of a backseat. We got a lot of stuff to catch up on. We've got summer transfers to catch up on. We've got kind of like how the league is shaped up so far. But let us begin. Our boy Tom just finished a 10-day football odyssey in England. So, I mean, obviously you're catching the Arsenal matches over there. But my first question is, like, non-Arsenal, what was your favorite match of your journey there?
Got to be a lower league, right?
Yeah, and that's going to be tough, man, because entertainment-wise, I always gravitate to the lower. Yeah. The lower the league, I just want what.
And you were at Sutton, right?
I was at Sutton United, with Mike Feinberg. Shout out.
And the pie-eating goalkeeper.
No, that was Sutton Town.
No.
That was Sutton United, right?
But that guy's a pariah there now.
Is he?
Yeah. Mike told me that they went into the clubhouse together, and when they walked in, it was kind of like those movies where the needle scratches.
Yeah.
Yeah. He is. Yeah. He's a pariah. He is no longer welcome.
Wow, that's
he had his moment.
Yeah, shout out to Mikey Feinberg.
Who is still there after 3.5 weeks.
Gooners v Cancer and doing a lot of good things. Feinberg.
And winner, of Football Content Award.
Yeah.
So
saw him on AFTV, I think, not a couple days ago. Yeah.
That's a tough one for me. Which one was, I guess, entertainment wise, and I'm it's hard to admit this, but watching Liverpool at Watford. Mohamed Salah.
I mean, Salah's goal was a goal of the century.
Yeah. To see Salah in person, I imagine, is quite a thing.
And just the whole squad.
Yeah.
It was. I don't know how Watford is still in the top division when you look at Liverpool and how they compared. Like, they could play each other 10 more times, and Liverpool will batter them each
every time. Yeah.
And they're just so fluid and so good. And Liverpool press and do everything flawlessly. It is just. I'm not a fan in the slightest, and I hope they don't win the league this year. But they are just amazing to watch. It's like a teaching guide or something.
Also, Watford they're bad.
Yeah, I mean, they're relegation material for sure. But even against a championship level team, that Salah goal and just how much individual effort he was able to pull off on those 3 guys. I mean. You're a professional player, whether or not you're on Liverpool's level, that's still an amazing feat to pull off on 3 professional defenders in your face.
Yeah.
If I had to guess your answer to that question, it would have been West Ham Tottenham.
Yes and no. Well, here's why the West Ham Tottenham match was fantastic. I remember looking across the ground and hearing a melody that sounded slightly familiar. I was like, Mike, I think they're singing it.
Tottenham get battered.
Yeah. And he's like, no, it's Tottenham fans are singing something that is to the same melody, and I just kept looking. I mean, it's really far. It's the opposite end of the ground. I'm going, no, because the away fans are not really doing anything. There's that one corner that's right next to them, and then, West Ham took that song and took off with it.
Yeah.
Tottenham get battered everywhere they go.
Yeah.
And obviously,
everywhere they go.
Yeah, my 2 favorite teams in the world are Arsenal and anybody playing against Tottenham.
Yeah.
And West Ham that day. if someone had identified me like, okay, he's a Gooner, they may not have said shit because it's kind of we all hate.
Yeah, we all know
enemy of
why,
my enemy
we
is
know
my
why you're
friend.
here, and we are
Yeah.
aligned in our interests today.
Yeah,
And-
the enemy of my enemy was my friend.
Yeah.
And it was a boring game.
Yeah,
first
that's
half.
fair. That's fair.
But when I believe it was Antonio scored the goal, he had a
Yeah.
and then finally it goes in.
Super underrated player, by the way.
Yes, he is. And also Harry Kane was nowhere.
Right.
As he has been. Has he scored a goal this season?
I don't think. I think he has. He got
Okay.
one. I forget who.
He's been not very good since. I
He
think
has
this-
1 goal
this-
and 0 assists
Yeah.
in 2 matches started.
Yeah.
Daniel
So he's not
Levy, why
starting.
did you turn down 150 million?
Yeah.
For him to do this.
I'm sorry, that's EFL. I'm sorry. He's got 1 goal in league and 1 goal in the EFL Cup.
Okay, there you go.
In 10 matches started across that, and then
Yeah, you turned down 150 million for that. His value is going down.
And West Ham Tottenham, this is our second time. So Mike and I went to that also with Owen Young. Shout out to Owen, who has this Northern Irish accent that is extremely catchy. Because now and again people go like, "Oh, are you gonna be Cockney when you come back?" And I don't. But Owen's accent, I found myself standing in bars, just almost wanting to speak like him. Because Northern Irish is closer to American.
Really?
And Owen is a really, really cool dude, and credit to him. He's why I'm drinking Guinness now. Like when he and I hung out, we drink Guinness 100% of the time.
Yeah, I was gonna say you have converted me to a Mexican lager guy, and then this is like Guinness number 5. I just chalked it up to it's a breakfast beer, so like there is that aspect to it. But I mean
It's a breakfast beer.
I mean it's a beer that is sweetish, and
Yeah,
you're
there is-
drinking your breakfast.
I think Samuel Smith.
I'm not a stout guy, so
Samuel Smith makes something called a breakfast stout.
Yeah.
And I
Well,
think
so does Founders, yeah.
Yeah.
and
Kentucky Breakfast Stout, those are good too.
Does Hardywood make a breakfast stout? Or
They
no?
make the gingerbread stout.
Yeah, they
which
make the
is,
gingerbread stout,
It is
yeah.
you could breakfast it. No, but Founders is the big breakfast stout.
Okay.
One, but yeah, I mean,
it's a toxic atmosphere, and I love it. It was better the last
Ooh,
time
Tom
we
said
went.
the word toxic.
Oh, I did. God damn it.
no.
God, because I hate
You have
that
become
word.
the thing which you hate.
Yeah.
You have become the thing which you hate.
And if I say the word literally, I'm gonna throw myself in front of a bus
Yeah,
on Broad
good.
Street.
Yeah.
well, it's okay. They run every hour now because no one will drive them, so it's fine.
I call dibs on your car. It's nice.
But-
I like Tom's car.
But yeah, so I mean, it's funny because like you kind of forget about like because you look at like Tottenham and you figure seeing shit happen to them is great, but you're right, it was a crap game, so
And the result was the most important thing. And here's kind of what sets me apart from a lot of fans is a lot of people just only worry about the results from the team. I want to see what the fans get into.
Yeah.
And-
Well, that's different when you're there because you can actually like it's not just whatever you see on TV. Like you can focus on whatever
Yeah.
shit's going over in Section 20.
Because there's more to this. There's more to this than just, hey, I throw on my shirt once a week and then and this comment is specifically directed at Chelsea and City fans who I don't consider proper football fans unless your last name is Gallagher, and or Johnny Marr. And I learned this at DC United. Surgeon taught me this, that no matter how bad your team is, you always support your team and you do the best you can to sing and put up tifo and choreo and all those things. And you can have a horrible team, but the fans can win. And this is me getting sentimental. As Richmond Gooners, that's what's important to me is we're not in Europe. We're not going to really challenge for the title probably, but other clubs in this town, they're nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, you were
As
trying to watch
it
the
stands
United
right
game.
now, we're 4 points out of first.
Yeah,
first
I wanted to go
place.
watch the Manchester United club. Their home pub, quote
Not
unquote,
open.
is not open.
Yeah.
They're going to this place called Breakers that,
Is trash.
yeah, I wouldn't, no, I would
Wouldn't
never
touch that
go
with a
there.
40-foot pole.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
no, I mean, we show up, we're here.
Anyway, let's not talk about them. Let's talk about us.
Right.
Let's talk about Aaron Ramsdale.
Breakers is the type of place I'd be worried about a hate crime in the parking lot.
enough.
Let's just put it that way.
Speaking of hate crimes, Aaron Ramsdale just robbing them left and right. I mean, honestly, that free kick that he saved, I mean, 99 times out of 100, that's a goal.
Yeah.
I mean, he was out of his mind today. I mean, we were talking in our WhatsApp, like the man of the match poll was going to be, if it wasn't already Aaron Ramsdale,
Right.
who would it be? Like he is obvious. I mean, 8 saves on, at least 3/4 of them were shots
Yeah.
that had a very good chance to go in.
It's not fair anymore. We have to. It's almost like watching Michael Jordan in the '90s. Like apart from Michael, who was the best for the Bulls tonight.
It's always an argument about who's second.
Right.
It's like who's the second best drummer of all time after Neil Peart.
And I think today, oh man, that's a tough because I haven't been thinking about it. Thomas Partey.
Yes, he was my number two.
Yeah, I think he was. He didn't score, but he had that really, really good shot from distance, left-footed.
Yeah, I
And
thought
on
our
target.
center backs were excellent.
Yeah,
As
Gabrielle.
But Partey was
Lokanga
was
very good.
active, full on, 6 yard box to 6 yard box. I mean,
Yeah.
he cleared that goal off the line. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously there was 4 dudes, but like he was the one who made the clearance.
Yeah.
And he was coming in and keeping junk balls alive in
Yeah.
the attacking end. His effort was there, and he was, to Tom's point, like a shot from distance on frame for the first time in what seems like a year.
Can we talk about Tomiyasu? How good is this kid?
Yeah.
I mean, he's better than I could have imagined. You heard things about him, like he does all the right stuff, and he's going to stabilize that position, which has kind of been in turmoil for us for a while. But I never expected as rock solid as he's been from the jump. Because like most guys, they come into the league. And
need
it's
an
like,
adjustment.
They need an adjustment period.
yeah.
And he's like, no, I've got this. Y'all can just back off.
And I remember in the
By
second
the way,
half.
Sky Sports, Cave Solocol, I need to have a word with you at Sky Cave on Twitter because you went on Sky Sports and you were laughing about the fact that, quote unquote, somebody texted you saying that nobody wanted this guy. Nobody wanted this guy. He came to Arsenal because nobody else wanted him. And everybody wanted Emerson Royale. Now, how's that working out? Because Emerson Royale has been playing like hot, sweet garbage at Spurs, and meanwhile, Tomiyasu is maybe top 3 right back in the league right now. I mean, I think Kyle Walker and Trent Alexander-Arnold kind of had that spot on lock. But outside of those two, name me a right back that's been better than Tomiyasu this year.
And the
Since
idea
he's,
of no one else wants him, that's fine.
Yeah, good.
Because
keep it cheap.
Probably nobody else wanted Ramsdale. Nobody else wanted Sambi
the
Lakonga.
disrespect from Cave to I'm like, I need a word with you, my friend.
And I'm not going to hurt myself patting myself on the back here, but that's part of the Arsenal brand is that we're not Chelsea that just point at any available.
We unearth.
We don't just point at every. We're not. What's the? Remember that movie? Willy Wonka.
Oh yeah,
And
I want
the-
it now. Yeah.
Daddy,
Yeah.
I want a squirrel.
Veruca Salt. I want it now.
I want to know.
Yeah, all I've got is and she names like dozens of
Yeah,
animals.
but I want the golden goose.
And if you're
And
Chelsea,
you
that's who
need
you
cash
are.
Yeah.
now.
No, it's
Call
not
JG Wentworth,
Yeah,
877 cash now.
Oh, yeah. But no, Chelsea is JG Wentworth. Just like, give me that shit.
Give me my
now.
player now.
Andrei Shevchenko,
Yeah.
Fernando Torres,
Arjen Robben. Deco. Just times where they threw money at a problem.
Yeah, buy Timo Werner and
Timo Werner.
then have to go spend money on a guy that you let walk 8 years ago to replace him or to
not
cover for him.
just money, but big money.
Yeah, you
Right.
gotta
115 million.
Yeah, you got to go bring him back because Werner has not panned out. He's like, whatever, we'll just spend more. To fix our problem.
Listen, Werner. I believe that Werner will come good.
I mean, he's had a hot minute to get used to it, and he has not.
Listen, Tuchel and Flick are both. They're both committed to helping him adjust. I think it says a lot about a player when you have world-class managers for both club and country, and they're both like, we're not going to give up on you because we know what's what.
I mean,
We know
that's
you
fair,
have the talent inside
But like
you.
to where we started this conversation, like Tomiyasu slots right in and knows what's up.
absolutely.
Now, granted, it's different positions, it's different skill sets, but like
And
we're
it's a different expectation.
It's a different
because
expectation,
the expectation
yeah,
is
'cause Werner
Chelsea is that you come in
and
that
you
you're
win the
immediately
Champions
great
League.
and you win
Yeah.
the Champions League and you win the league. That's the expectation at Chelsea. It's not the expectation at
I
Arsenal.
mean, it's not, but Werner has been so far off the mark that, like, I mean, you're right. Like, they're committed. They're going, and like the one thing to your point about like Chelsea just throw money around is not because they spend money on him. They do believe in him.
Yeah.
But
if we could get Timo Werner at a cut rate price, I would absolutely take him.
Sure, but it's also like there is something to be said for our approach, especially considering where we are.
Yeah.
Unearthing dudes that can just do it off.
He doesn't
And-
score
and-
for
and
Germany
youth.
either, though. That's my
And
thing.
youth.
Is I've been watching him in the Bundesliga. I've been watching him for Germany. To steal one of your lines, Joey, he couldn't score in a woman's prison with a pardon.
Fistful of pardons.
Fistful of pardons. Yeah, he would fall into a barrel of titties and come out sucking his thumb.
Yeah. If it was rain and pussy, he'd catch one with a big old dick in it.
And here's where people are like covering their kids' ears in cars. And,
Oh, look! If you're letting your
Not
children
a
listen to the
podcast
Richmond
for
Gooners
children,
podcast,
folks.
it's marked explicit for a reason. Don't do it.
Not
Just
a
don't do
podcast
it.
for children. But,
So,
but I personally, I believe that he will come good. And
I mean, it's possible, but it's been a minute.
It has. But people could say the same thing about Pepe. And meanwhile, I'm like, listen, his first full year here, he led the team in assists. He's constantly, when he plays, he's constantly the chief creator for our team.
Right.
He creates all the chances.
Well, and the thing with
what I mean?
Pepe and like a lot of guys that are like on the fringe right now at Arsenal is we lack fixtures to give people time.
Yeah.
It's what's keeping
With
Martinelli
no
on
Europe,
the bench.
yeah,
with no Europe, like we just can't get dudes.
It's a fourth set of fixtures that we could use to get some of these people in greater
form. And of course, the irony is,
about to
last
score.
year I'm going, man, if we didn't have all these games, we could kind of get healthy and get right. But now you think about it, it's like, well, we actually do have players now, but we can't get them time to develop. I mean, like Martinelli is so young.
His name is Gabriel.
His name is Gabriel, but he's Martinelli. We have a Gabriel now, but he's young. But like, if we can't get him meaningful minutes, like how much does he realistically develop? And you feel like we're a little hampered that way. But anyway,
but if we can get back into Europe,
then we get back into Europe.
Problem
which that's
not
where I'll
solved, but it's mitigated.
That's where I'll take that next. Is kind of like Well, we'll talk about transfers.
But where are we right now in the table?
So, like, that's the thing, is the table right now.
We're fifth right now.
We're fifth right now, tied on points with West Ham.
Pending
1,
results.
2, 3, 4, 5.
1, 2, 3, 4,
5.
5. I believe the fifth.
I saw,
bitch, you cooking?
No, I want to say it was short fuse. It could have been somebody had a tweet that said basically, right now in the Premier League, there are two elite teams in Liverpool and City. Like, they're out there just battering people, although City are down 1-0 to Palace right now.
Yeah.
But, like, they are clearly the two best teams in the league. Chelsea is a very good team that has some issues they got to work out. And then it's a cluster of, like, 6 teams that could all finish fourth.
Yep.
And if you told me at the start of the season we would be, even looking at fourth place in a Champions League slot, I would have been like, nah, we'd be lucky to land in Europa.
Really?
Well, just because it's obviously a rebuild. Arteta had some struggles, either perceived or real, and you don't know how not being in Europe is going to affect the team's like will to compete that expects to be there.
Well, I think it can only be a good thing as far as we're a club that's known for getting battered every year and having a big injury list. That was our problem. We lost the first 3 games of the season. I want to say we had something like 9 first-team players.
All kinds of dudes were out. And
injured.
that Brentford loss is looking a whole lot less bad.
We
started
really
Balogun
good
at that
teams,
game on that game.
Yeah.
We played 2 really good teams. We played Brentford,
who is
right now sitting
12th, but they're only 5 points off of us.
They are going to stay up.
They beat some really good teams.
Yeah, they're going to stay up, and they might finish top half of the table.
Yeah.
They are a very good team that people didn't know about. Tony players like that. They got some really good quality players. So that loss is looking not as embarrassing week by week. So we lost to Brentford, and it was kind of the magical story. Their first time in the league, in the top flight or what have you. It was a magical story, and then we lost to the league champions, and then we lost to the European champions.
Yeah.
So I feel like while we want to win those games, and I wish we had, there's very little shame in that. Losing to teams that are on that sort of high and in that sort of form. And since then, 9, including today, 9 games unbeaten in all competitions.
But my thing is, like, I mean, you're right. Yes, like, City and Chelsea are on another level from us. But, like, I was looking at the league at the start of the year and the way United started, honestly, the way that Everton looked from the beginning.
Yeah.
I'm going, oh, boy, we're going to be in for one this year. But, like, everybody's kind of regressed to the mean a little bit, and we might have overachieved or at least achieved what we should be and had been underachieving before. And now I feel like we're in a lot better spot than, maybe a lot of us expected at this point.
I saw
I love this song. it's Pearl Jam, Yellow Ledbetter.
And no one knows the lyrics to this song. He is speaking in tongues.
It's just the old marble mouth.
And I'll finish it with this. This is the first and last time they recorded this song. Like, this is the first.
It was a one-off. They did it in one take. Yeah.
So what you like about Pearl Jam, but they nailed this, printed it, and how good was the 10 album that this was a B-side that not good enough for the album, and a lot of bands today would be lucky to have this song.
True.
Like, they would try to market an entire album, an entire look, an entire lifestyle that they had this song.
Yeah, I
and
make
Pearl
fun
Jam
of
was
Eddie
like,
Vedder, but
this is one that we're just gonna toss.
Yeah.
And
Like, whatever, it's on there.
I make fun of Eddie Vedder and I imitate him, but imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
And Mike McCready.
Pearl Jam is a classic.
And Mike McCready, for me, is probably the most underrated guitar player in America. He is.
I mean, I know dudes who got into playing guitar because of Pearl Jam. So,
are we going to turn this into an underrated guitar podcast?
No, we are not.
Because I want to throw Darren.
If John Mayer looked like Elvis Costello, he'd be working at Guitar Center.
Yeah.
Anywho, so yeah, I mean, we're looking at the league and we're looking at,
I hate John Mayer, but he's actually a really good guitar player.
you hate to admit it, but you have to.
I have
it's
to.
like a Tom Brady situation.
I
like, you
can't
have
stand
to
the dude
recognize.
almost as a guy, but he is as far as modern blues, he's top of the list.
But like, you look at our run of points since January, and we're something like 5th in the Premier League. So, it's
since Christmas we're actually third.
Yeah. So
And third most points per game as well. It's
Yeah.
hovering around 2 points a game.
I mean, we're kind of sneakily sneaking up there.
Yeah.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever said, but
Sneakily sneaky.
yeah, but
There's a lot of cohesiveness today. That's what I
Yeah.
really liked was, wow, I squeaked. I sounded like the guy that, the guy from Family Guy. Hey, Chris.
Oh, yes, Chris. Yeah.
That's my favorite paper
Yeah.
boy.
So what I
Get the ball, Jesse.
Partey was excellent.
Yes.
Sammy Lakanga is coming to his own.
Yeah.
Emil Smith Rowe also. Saka, I think he did okay today.
He's been playing a lot. He's been playing a
He
lot.
played a lot. I
Yeah.
mean, that corner that corner that led to the goal was a very, very good ball.
And
in.
he had some shots in the second half. I mean, he's obviously still got the energy and all that. I think I don't know what it's going to take. It's still there, and it obviously, I mean, it's friggin' October.
Right.
It's going to come around, but we're finally showing signs of what Arteta ball is.
Yes.
And today, what I really liked is that
Youthful energy.
we played the
is
same
kind of the
lineup.
core.
We played the exact same lineup that we did against Villa. And I like that cohesiveness because last year I think it was 36 out of 38 games.
Different lineup.
Yeah, different defensive lineup. And apart from Kieran Tierney, we had Tavares.
Who wasn't even
the-
in today.
Right, he didn't even travel.
Yeah.
And Nuno Tavares.
He's an exciting player to watch. let me
Yeah.
tell you that.
Yeah.
I mean, there are people on Twitter, on Arsenal Twitter and football Twitter, saying that he's better than Tierney. I'm not going to go quite that far, but he is a unique combination of strength, pace, explosiveness, and dribbling ability.
Yeah.
He's a unique combination of that makes him very exciting to watch.
Well, and I'm with you. I'm not going to say he's better than Tierney, but given Tierney's injury history,
Right.
I'm glad we have a player like him.
Right. Number one, I'm glad we have a player like him because last year we had nobody to fill in that space to the point where Xhaka and Saka are playing left back because we just
Yeah.
need a warm body there.
They did a job,
but he makes you ask the question. If you have, I think if you have a fully healthy Tierney, he's still going to
If
be our
it's a
starting
cup
left
final
back.
tomorrow,
Right.
tomorrow,
Tierney still put in there.
Tierney starts, but
yeah.
Well, if
but
he's
at least
fully healthy.
He's at least forcing the issue. I think.
Right, that's what I'm saying. He makes you ask the question.
Yeah,
it's
he's
like,
pulling
who's
an
looking better
Emi
today?
Martinez, where
Yeah.
at least they're asking the question.
Right.
now.
I think it's down to like who's looking better in training, who's more healthy right now. It's not like, oh crap, we got to start our backup left back. It's like, you know what? Honestly, like if Tierney's not ready to go or if he's like looking kind of like shaky in practice,
Yeah.
I'll start Tavares again and give
and,
Tierney a
and
rest.
feel really good about it.
Putting Tavares there, we can feel comfortable. Unlike, say, last year at right back, when we put in the 1950s fighter pilot with that gay porn mustache, I'm going, oh God.
For those that don't know, he's referring to Cedric Soares.
Yeah, who
Cedric Soares, gay fighter pilot.
and
Cedric Soares.
so we had him, we had Bellerin, and I don't want to speak ill of the dead, but
They're not dead, they're gone.
I'm just happy that we
dead
have,
to me.
I'm happy that we have fullbacks that we can rely on, and Liverpool
Yeah.
established the standard that fullbacks were required if you want to be a challenger.
Yeah, I
It's-
mean, bringing Van Dijk in made them world beaters. So,
Yeah.
at this point,
But then developing Trent Alexander-Arnold and Robertson like they did.
Yeah.
God, 2 weeks ago. Was it 2 weeks ago? I think no, it was last weekend, and I saw Jamie Carragher or Jamie Harragher in the Irish, but he said that Virgil van Dijk, he's the best passer in the world.
That's the best pass on Wales.
And I saw that, and I'm going, you're really going to say that with Kevin De Bruyne in existence?
Out
Kevin
there,
De Bruyne
alive.
exists.
Yeah.
Like, Kevin De Bruyne is so good a passer, he can find Jimmy Hoffa's body.
Yeah,
And Jimmy Hoffa will score a goal.
yeah.
And okay, I mean, yeah, Virgil van Dijk is probably the best center back. I mean, there's arguments to be made for Ruben Diaz, but it's just.
I mean, Diaz was last year. Diaz was Player of the Year, but Van Dijk was injured.
But to
for
declare
34, 38
to
games.
declare VVD as the best passer in the world,
Not passer at center back, just best
Yeah,
passer
in the world, that's a bit much.
Right.
right? Because
yeah.
if he was the best passer in the world, they'd put him at number 10.
Yeah, exactly.
He's
I'm
too big
like,
for that. But,
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and maybe let's segue to just catching up on the transfers. talking about Tavares,
We got some names to go over. So
yeah, we
talked about Tavares.
We talked about Tomiyasu. We talked about
Yeah.
Tavares. Obviously, Ramsdale. Man of the match today.
And I have to hold up my hand because I was one of the ones that was vocal about, I don't know about this guy. I'm not convinced.
Ramsdale?
Yeah. And,
I was the same way. I was like, that's a lot of money for a guy that may not unseat Bernd Leno.
and this is me going, I was wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is the man. And I joked during the match that
I would like my credit
after
for just telling everybody that it's going to be okay. There are people in the world of football. There are people even in our group who are so thick as to think that a bad team can't have world-class players.
Oh yeah, saying that because he's been on
It's
teams
just
that
not
have
true.
underperformed.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily been his fault, but
He's been on 3 straight teams that got relegated, and what
Yeah.
happened is those teams brought him in
Yeah.
to try to help them stop it.
Yeah, and
they
it
would
was
have
too
been
late.
even worse, way worse without him.
Yeah, it was like
and
West
we're
Brom,
seeing that now.
It was like West Brom bringing in Big Sam too late. He wasn't going to save him.
Yeah.
You were saying about today though.
yeah, well, Ramsdale is as good as anybody in the world.
Yep.
Yeah, right now. I mean, he really is.
I've got my mentor who's a Leeds
I'm a
fan.
big Leno fan, but I think he's gone. Ramsdale, I think, has
Yeah.
firmly made that.
Well,
choice.
Leno doesn't even want to be here anymore.
Is there a keeper?
He's better than
is-
Martinez. He's better than Leno. He's better than.
He's better than Sugar Ray. He's better than Cassius Clay.
Yeah.
He beat all the asses. What about
Mama named him Clay. I'm gonna call him Clay.
Yeah, but I mean, like at this point, I mean, you look at Ramsdale and he deserves a shot at the England #1.
Yes,
He does.
I mean, because Pickford has been pedestrian.
that is what my mentor
Pickford
texted me and
can
said. I
kick
want
the shit out of the ball, but other than that, he is, in my opinion, slightly over bang average.
the one thing Ramsdale I think struggled with
I
today.
think Nick Pope, Dean Henderson, and Ramsdale are all better than Pickford.
I think Ramsdale struggled with his distribution today.
He did. He
A
struggled
little
with his kicking.
because there was one,
Straight to it was like
Yeah.
just past center,
and he was
it
also
right to two.
And I saw
Leicester
the
guys.
Villa game in person. He also had some bad, and that's fine if you're going to struggle. That's a good one to have because you don't want to have a sit down with a keeper and go, your shot stopping needs work.
Right. Like which one is more detrimental to the team? Letting
Because
shit by you or just not distributing perfectly?
He had one.
And he'll be the first to admit because he had an interview a couple weeks ago and he was like, we won the game and he was like, listen, my kicking wasn't there today. I need to work on that.
Right,
And it's clear he's
right.
still working on it. You know,
He is
in tight situations like that.
He's a leader. I love how vocal he
Absolutely.
is.
Yeah.
He's a
He's
maniac.
yelling his head off at the defenders,
Yeah.
but you could tell they respect him and they will follow his instruction and listen to him.
Well, and to your point that there are worse things to be than not a perfect distributor. I mean, like right in the 3rd minute, it was I want to say Sambi had a back pass that was just like into the most dangerous area right in front of goal, and Rams was like, nope, just walked up and just booted that shit.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
He takes command of it's the kind of stuff that when Ospina and Czech were in goal, we'd all just be like pucking our buttholes.
Yep.
Right, but like now it's just like, oh no, he's gonna clear that, and sure enough, he did.
And I think for the first time in many years, say for instance, in the second half, Leicester had a few chances. James Madison lined up for a free kick, and I wasn't worried.
I wasn't worried either.
Right.
And for years, I've
And
been
also
worried.
Iheanacho lined up. I was like, "There's no
He's
fucking
not
way.
touching that ball.
There's no
That was
fucking
a
way
joke.
Iheanacho's
Yeah,
taking
give me
this.
a break.
Why
Yeah,
is he even there?
the safest
no
place
one
in the
believes he's
world.
gonna. Yeah, no one believes he's gonna
Yeah,
take
no.
these. Oh, Tom, you're gonna hate me. I have
boy.
to go to the bathroom.
Oh.
I was just making fun of Tom for going to the bathroom 9
Well,
times.
I'm not gonna be mad at that because it'll probably be me in 15, 20 minutes. I guess we're talking a lot about who's great. There may be some people that struggle today. I'm not sure how great Aubameyang was. He had his moments.
Yeah, I mean, he had that one really great break in about the 7th minute, but then the shot wasn't anything special, but it just ate up. Schmeichel had a terrible day.
Well, his first half was wow. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he just easy shots that took 20 minutes to get on him, and he's like, oh, he was that guy with going to wash his car with the buckets and doing the whole oh, what do I do? And just spills water all over himself. He was
Yeah.
just a mess. But I mean, Alba had the pace. He was just I don't know. He was like a half touch off.
And it was interesting because obviously we had the 4-4-2 today. I don't know if he was at his best. I don't know if he was being marked out or if he wasn't mentally ready or if he wasn't going into the right spaces. Because on the other hand, Lacazette was excellent.
Yes.
His assist to ESR, because it looked like he kind of lost control and that he just randomly just hoofed it. But no, he He put the ball in exactly the right spot. His hold-up play for a guy who's, 5'8", 5'9"?
Yeah.
And to put it there, and also for ESR, finally we're getting goals from midfield, because that's been a problem for us for years. And I know Saka's a man, and Saka probably will be the man come springtime. I think he just needs he's probably still overcoming some things, and
well, I mean, that experience at the Euros is going to just fuck anybody up.
And I'm not going to mention them by name, but there's a certain club whose fan base booed him when he and it says a lot about that club, especially when, God, what was it? One of their fans just got done for sending these anti-Semitic tweets.
Right.
And you go, your owner is Jewish. Why are you sending anti-Semitic?
What are you doing?
Are you vaguely aware of that stupid London club with the lion? Lion! That's one for Mike Feinberg and John Horland. So, Alba, he's obviously always energetic. He doesn't, you never look at Alba and go, he's not trying.
No, never.
Whereas I look at guys like Ødegaard and I go, are you here today?
He was here, like, when Ødegaard coming on, he brought effort for sure. There was a few spots where he tried to do the Pepe, like, I'm going to dribble around you 6 times thing, and then dribble himself into oblivion.
And it doesn't work. Like,
it didn't work.
When he was on the touchline and he tried to dribble through,
through like 3 dudes,
back heels, and it's just you look like you're in a boy band, but.
To be fair, there was 3 dudes around.
There were 3 dudes around.
But you don't dribble your way through that.
So what did he do? No one else was making a run. They had all options blocked. He had to try something to get out of there, right?
Well, guys like Partey can figure their way out of there, and
no, he can't. Partey
if Ødegaard looked like,
that's silly.
If he looked like Charlie Adam, no one would give him any credit.
I don't know about that.
Nah.
I think he more than a lot of the guys.
Charlie Adam is ugly. Is ugly as hell, though. I will concede that point.
But no, I mean, I feel like if Ødegaard, he just needs to get in rhythm. I think.
I mean, he had a good 30 minutes against Spurs. He had that nice one against Burnley. But are we really, as Arsenal fans, going to go, we made the right choice and got him instead of James Maddison?
Did we see Maddison today?
Yeah, Maddison looked very pedestrian today.
Trash today.
It would have been
interesting. He had one good free kick attempt
because they were like kind of
and Ødegaard came in and did.
Right, but what I would have liked to see, I would have liked to see if they both started. Like, how would they have compared to each other? Like Ødegaard coming on.
I really wanted to see that.
Like, it was. I wouldn't say it was garbage time when he came on, but it was pretty close because Leicester was not really challenging.
Yeah, come on and don't give it away, basically.
Yeah, I mean, he was like, look, let's give dude. I mean, because he came on.
And then he did.
Well, he came on for Laka, who, to your point, had just been, running his butt off, doing hold-up
and that's probably a conversation I almost guarantee a lot of other podcasts are not going to have. We had a 4-4-2 today, and 4-4-2s are out of style.
They're out of style, but like we were talking about this before.
Did we really have a 4-4-2 today?
Well, it's funny because ESPN showed it as a 4-4-1-1 just because they were like, there's no way they're doing 4-4-2. But yes, we were. They did 4-4-2 in the last league game.
And there's a handful of journalists that have put on Twitter that the biggest argument that always ensues amongst journalists is that what's the formation?
Right.
And the idea of like to argue whether it's 4-4-2 or 4-4-1-1, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I mean, like if one dude's like 3 yards ahead of the other, whatever, they're the 2 forwards. I mean, the way it's because it's funny because it's just like, I mean, I get why it's out of style.
We score more goals when they play together. That's a statistical fact.
Right. That's like league wide. You understand why it's out of style because like the traditional number 10 has fallen off as far as like a thing.
Right.
And you have to have these like just different spaces to like get people the ball, but like with us, I mean, it was a little different because Tierney wasn't out there today. But like for me, one of the benefits of a 4-4-2 is like if you've got Tierney, as your left back constantly getting forward in the play, you're gonna need another guy in midfield kind of hanging out for when he's way ahead of the counter.
Right, yeah, your CDM needs to go back and cover that area.
Right, and having another guy on like the left wing in midfield is going to help that coverage. And
Xhaka does that when he's playing.
Right.
When we had back on the day, Mathieu Flamini did that really well.
Oh, Flamini was the man.
He played that position in his prime for us. Not number 20 Flamini, but number 16 Flamini.
Isn't he the one that's got like a chemical engineering company?
Clean energy.
He's got billions.
He's like a billionaire.
He was very quietly a billionaire while he played.
Yeah.
But to your point, Tom, like Laka and Alba together, and I would like to see one of them. If Martinelli's going to replace one of them, who do you want to see him swap out with?
Oh God, because that came up when I was in London, I was on.
That's tough. And I think Laka's proven his worth right now.
Yeah, I mean, I would almost like to see Martinelli instead of Alba right now.
But see, I can't say that because Alba can change the game.
But so can Martinelli. I mean, how many times last year did Martinelli come on or start, and the entire team played harder because he was out there running his butt off?
They did, but I still don't think he has quite the effect. Both at 100% capacity, I don't think he has the effect of Alba. But again, I mean, he's 10 years younger than him. You know what I mean? So he's got time to develop that. So the ceiling is really high there.
I think Lacazette, if you're gonna AB them, very rarely can I look at Lacazette and say you had a crap game, because he comes in whether as a super sub or when he starts. If he doesn't score, he makes a lot of crucial link-up plays. He had a fantastic assist today. He does a lot of different things.
He leads the line extremely well, I think.
Alba's thing is he's, I think, what they call mercurial. He scores goals, but he needs to, I mean, I watched him at Dortmund in person. His best position is wide left, counterattacking, at speed. I mean, let's think about it. The FA Cup final when that guy was going, zoo, 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 no, zoo.
That was Jorginho.
Yeah.
And that is...
Right foot, zoo, and then Alba dinks to the left and chips.
And that is an Alba goal.
Jorginho goes, oh, zoo.
and that is an Alba goal, whereas Lacazette... I mean, if I had to say what is a Lacazette goal... Probably he
gets the ball in the box, twist turns through three guys.
Yeah, or like there's a rebound and he snakes
it
around three dudes to get to it and rockets it in from 6 yards away.
He's extremely accurate, and maybe I should add this in. When Alba lined up for that penalty against Villa, not a soul in that ground. Oh my God, they're playing Dave Matthews Band.
They are playing Satellite. Yes.
Never forget, Dave Matthews Band emptied. Number one, he sounds like Kermit the Frog. Hi-ho, Dave Matthews here, and
Patrick Mahomes. Anybody?
Dave Matthews the Frog here.
And their bus emptied their toilet
onto
a
Chicago
ship
River.
in Chicago,
yes.
Which is how I feel right now listening to their music, invading my ears. They are sexually assaulting my ears right
shitting
now.
on your ears.
Yeah, they're shitting through a slatted bridge
It
onto
is.
our ears.
I would rather guide my father inside my mother than listen to Dave Matthews.
Oh God!
Okay.
Oh, I was not ready.
I was in no way prepared for that.
So not ready for that.
Tom is sitting here, for those of you who can't see on News Channel 8, Tom is sitting here stone-faced, having just made that comment that has murdered Joey and I. Oh my God.
He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready.
Nope.
My face is if you look up the on the internet, it's the I am not a rapper. That's the face. I am not a rapper. So, and this came up a lot when I was over there. You know, if it's a cup final tomorrow and you have to pick one of the two, Alba or Laka, man, that's probably the toughest question.
I'm still picking Alba.
Okay, and that's fair.
In a big game like that. But the thing is, Alba is a more talented player, I believe.
Okay, overall?
Overall, yes. But I think Lacazette has really made a name for himself as a big game player.
Yeah.
He's a player that we play, generally we start against the other big six because he doesn't let that moment get to him.
Yeah, I mean, that goal.
And that's something I can appreciate about
the
Laka. I
tying
want us
goal
to keep
against
them
Palace.
both. Like, I understand this is a thought exercise, but
for how
as
long,
of right
though?
now, I want us to keep them both for at least one more season.
One more. Yeah. I wouldn't sign either of them long term.
No. But I would sign Lacazette to a 2-year contract. I would.
I don't know. I mean, you've got the other concern is that you have, I think we all thought Eddie was going to get sold this summer.
I did too.
Maybe he still does in January.
Because wouldn't he want like $80,000 a week or something?
That was
ridiculous.
that was a holdup.
And I was like, I like Eddie, but for $80,000 a week, you can fuck right off, my friend.
Yeah, but so like
I'll
maybe
drive you
he
to
doesn't-
Heathrow myself.
That's the problem is a lot of these Arsenal players are on a lot of wages. And
Right.
unfortunately, Arsene Wenger started that. And, yeah, he could go to some clubs, and he's a finisher. Eddie is a great finisher.
Yeah.
If he went to somebody
I
like
wouldn't
Everton.
say he's a finisher. I would say he's a poacher.
Poacher. Yeah.
Okay.
And
Okay.
that's the thing that I think every club needs one guy like that. because he brings something different than your Albas and your guys like that. But also, I feel like we could ship Eddie out the door and Balogun can move up into that spot.
And that's where I was getting at is like, you've got guys like Eddie to some degree, Balogun for sure, Martinelli for sure.
Yeah.
Like,
and what's Balogun
point,
on, like 15K a week, 20K
yeah.
a week?
Well, it's not even about the wages. It's just like,
I think
these
the
guys are
talent level, they're
obviously,
already
the
similar.
talent level is there. They're obviously the future. Like, at what point do you worry about developing your future and say, look, man, like, yes, Laka and Abba are it right now, but right now, I mean, I do think
every season you have to develop.
Right,
for
you have to
the
develop it,
future.
and especially this year when we're not having play in Europe, and it's just I think we will be in Europe next year. I think we have a shot at champions, but at the
I
very
do too.
least Europa.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, again, like
We're in 5th right now.
well, and like I'll tell you what'll
We're in 5th place right now. We've gone 9 unbeaten.
Right.
If United sacks their manager, they're probably going to lock up the 4th spot.
I feel like
We've gone 9 unbeaten with I think 6 clean sheets of those 9.
No, I don't doubt that. I just feel like Kevin Keegan when he said the only way we're getting to Europe, lads, is on a cruise ship.
No. I mean, champions maybe, but like Europa League again, it's what we touched on earlier. Like there are 3 teams that
Think
have
about
those
the other
first 3
teams
spots
around us.
locked up. But yeah, I mean,
West
run down the
Ham,
table.
West Ham, Brighton, right?
Yeah,
and,
Brighton won't.
and Everton and Leicester.
Brighton won't hold.
No,
West Ham,
Brighton's down 2-1
Everton, and
today.
Leicester, right? Do we think those teams are going to have the longevity? And then beyond that, big 6 clubs, we have
Tottenham,
Tottenham,
United,
and United.
And let's not forget. I mean,
And both those teams are in bad form.
United is going to go get all the mercenaries.
They are, but unless they sack
They already
Solskjaer-
got all the mercenaries.
Yeah, that's true. They did. And what did that get them?
But they're going to get more.
They have a terrible manager.
Yeah, well, and we were talking about that earlier in the day. It's
I heard
like,
last
well,
night-
As long as he's there, they're not winning a goddamn.
I heard last
Right.
night that they're going to get Pochettino, and I was like, I'll throw in 20. Please get Pochettino.
And also, they're not. He's not leaving PSG.
No.
There's not.
You don't
right
think
now.
so?
Not in the middle of the year.
I'm very Ollie in right now.
Oh, yeah.
Always,
yeah,
always
yeah.
at the wheel.
Yeah, no. The longer
Give
they
him,
keep
give him
him,
the
the more mediocre
contract,
they'll
like
be.
Rio said. Let him put whatever number he wants on there. Ollie's at the bloody wheel.
I mean, they're not
And
going to extend him. but, like,
Rio's
you
never
know.
going to live that shit down.
And I'm going to put myself in the mud. Before the season started,
Oh, yeah.
I thought United was going to win the league.
And what did I tell you? What did I tell you?
I can't remember.
I said Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is not a title-winning manager. As long as he is there, they will win no leagues. Isn't that what I said?
I don't remember.
But here's the thing, like,
I'm not denying. I'm just saying
I wish you did remember.
but no, it's.
your arm's going to get sore patting yourself on the back, man.
But no, I mean, you're not wrong. Like, he's obviously
That was
incompetent.
less about patting myself on the back and more like wishing you fucking listen to me when I talk.
But no, I mean, you're right. Like, he's not got it, and it's obvious. But from our perspective, like, the longer we can let them try to figure that out, the better off we'll all be.
Yeah.
But
I would say I was right about that, but I don't want Tom to say I pat myself on the back.
Because they, when they signed Varane, that was like a huge deal.
Oh, it was a huge deal.
Because he's an excellent defender.
And that was an excellent signing.
Yeah.
And it is. And they were throwing comments at us like, oh, you guys signed Ben White, we got Varane. But, yeah, you pile up Varane's wages.
I'm looking at the table right now, and we are on 3 more points than them.
Yeah, I mean-
you signed Varane. Yeah, we signed Ben White. But look at the table
I
right
mean, this
now.
weekend pending, but still, yeah. And
They're playing Spurs. I mean,
that's
maybe they get a point from
that's
that?
That's gonna be a 0-0, 1-1 shit
yeah,
fest.
maybe they get a
and,
point from that. It's they're taking to call this match El Sacico.
Yeah.
Because which of those managers is going to get
I'm
sacked
I'm
first?
always extremely excited. Apart from us playing United, and most importantly, us playing Spurs, my favorite fixture is always,
Spurs United.
yeah.
Well, because it's whatever the outcome, it's good for you. Because one of those teams is going to, at least one is going to drop
Yeah,
points.
it's like watching your ex-mother-in-law fight your ex-wife. Just no matter who loses, is
No
gonna
matter
be
who
happy.
gets knocked out, yeah,
I'm
you
gonna be
gotta
happy.
knock the
I'm gonna
fuck
be
out.
happy.
AVP, no matter who wins, we lose, but it's the
Yeah.
opposite.
Yeah. Like, hey, you got knocked the fuck out. I don't
Yeah.
care which one I'm telling them to. Telling that to.
You know, Donald Trump is gonna fight Sean Hannity. Cool.
Good. Yeah.
Whoever loses, I'm good with it. You know?
Somebody got beat up. It's
Donald
okay.
Trump and Steve Bannon.
Yeah.
I saw
They're
a
about
TikTok
to
the
throw
other
down
day.
given what's going on with Bannon right now.
I saw a TikTok the other day that was like, it was just regular looking white dude, and he was like, racism is really funny to me because this guy, and he pointed up and he superimposed a picture of Steve Bannon there, just like his close up on his face. He looks like a bridge troll. Steve Bannon looks like he wakes up and dies every day.
Honestly, he might look worse than Prince Philip.
He looks terrible.
Yeah.
But he was like, this guy thinks he's genetically superior to this guy, and then he superimposed a shirtless picture of LeBron James, and I was like, that is a good point. This guy is maybe one of the most fit humans on the face of the earth.
Yeah.
Like, if there's anything that this guy is not, it's unfit.
Sure.
He is a
Right.
specimen. especially at his age to be doing what he's doing. And he's like, yeah, this guy thinks he's like genetically superior to this guy.
Yeah.
And then he just started laughing.
It sucks that he's from here.
Yeah, no
What,
kidding.
Bannon?
Yeah, he's from here. He's from Northside.
Oh, God.
And
Yeah, it sucks that we have to fucking claim him. You know,
We don't have to.
No,
we
no,
don't have to.
I don't claim him. Like somebody
no.
said, if I went to a party in somewhere like Canada and they were like, "Hey, you're from Richmond. Steve Bannon's from Richmond," I would go,
And fuck Steve Bannon.
and I would do the Ars Maker. If he's from Richmond, I did not see it.
I did not see.
I did not know.
I did not see him being born, so I do not know.
I
did not see.
I don't know who that is.
I cannot speak.
He did not cost $50 million, so he cannot be bad.
Jose
So-
Mourinho, if I speak, I'm in big trouble.
I'm in big trouble, yes.
But what's kind of nuts is I've been out in the north side like 3 or 4 times in the last 6 months, and some of those restaurants up there, it's crazy. You go in, it's all white people, and then I started to hear these-
Gentrification, baby.
Well, I mean, it's not just like Guar. They all used to live there, and that's like, I'm talking about.
White people.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Blue Lives Matter. Like,
Yeah.
if he didn't want to get his ass kicked, he shouldn't have challenged the police. Those
Yeah.
kind of, you know,
Yeah.
like those people that you and I have beaten this topic to death. But like the whole, okay, you're for smaller government and you love liberty and hate oppression, but somehow you're still in
line
love
with
the
lockstep
police.
with the
Yeah.
police, yeah.
And no one oppresses more people than anyone on the face of the earth than the police.
police, yeah.
So how do you reconcile your police?
Yeah.
You don't.
There's
It's-
a
it's
phrase for that.
convenience.
Because you're-
Cognitive dissonance.
Yes.
Yeah, you're an oxygen thief. If
Yeah. Well, you don't. You reconcile your release by not reconciling them because you don't think about that shit.
Yeah.
Richmond Gooners podcast just lost 80% of his listeners.
Richmond Gooners podcast tackles racism. No.
Honestly, if that's, I don't want that viewership, that listenership.
Well,
I would hope 80% of our listeners are not racist.
yeah,
That would be
seriously,
unfortunate.
seriously.
That would be
Well,
unfortunate.
I struggle with it constantly, and I'm just going to leave it with what Chuck D said. Fuck the police, but who's protecting me from killing you?
Mm-hmm.
And it's we hate them, but if there were no cops, man, we would have to walk out like it's a Mad Max movie, you know.
I'm prepared to do that. I'm saying, listen,
Witness
there's
me!
so many,
People are back!
and I'll leave it at this because I don't want this to turn into a that sort of podcast. But there's so many people out there of the Caucasian persuasion that have gone on public on their social media saying, "Hey, listen, we're ready. We got weapons. We got this and
Yeah.
we got that. Well, you know what? I got this and I got that too.
Right.
Just in case it happens. I hope it doesn't get to that, but just in case it happens,
Because-
I'm not going to be the one that's
Well, and to
not ready.
Tom's point, when he always comes back, was
Yeah.
like, "Oh yeah, do any of y'all have cardio? Because no, you don't. We're gonna
Right.
we're gonna run
Tom's
circles
like,
around
Tom's
your
like,
ass,
yeah, the don't tread on me license plates or the come and take it. I'll take it, and then I'll run 2 blocks down the
Yeah.
street
and
from
you
you.
will be unconscious
and then
because you
you'll
will
be
have passed out."
huffing and puffing.
Yeah, like those guys watch war movies and documentaries and have no idea that. Take a look at all those soldiers. They're
Yeah.
skinny.
They're
we
fit,
lost in
yeah.
Vietnam. We had superior technology.
Yeah.
We can call in fire missions from F-4 Phantoms and artillery, and we lost to guys that are 5'2", wearing pajamas and homemade flip flops.
They were fit.
Right.
They were
and
fit.
and exactly to all the meal Team 6 and the gravy seals.
Yeah.
You can buy all the
gear,
all the
tactical vests.
You're
and-
gonna lose.
Yeah.
You're gonna get your fucking heads kicked in because you can't run a mile under fucking a month.
Yeah.
Anyway, goddamn.
And listen, I know I'm fat because you guys can see me on camera right here.
Same.
But every time I step on a soccer pitch, people are always impressed by the level of athleticism I show.
We
for a
dwarves
guy
are
my
natural
size.
sprinters. We're wasted on cross
Yeah,
country.
I can't tell you how many times I've heard, "Hey, you man, I didn't think you could run like that."
And to quote my
I
favorite
don't
movie.
even take it as an insult. I'm like, well,
To quote my favorite movie, don't worry about Tyrone. He can move when he has to.
yeah, bang, there you go.
So we were talking about Alba versus
Yeah.
Laka.
If Martinelli is going to start over one of them, because and you know that's the issue is like, you know,
I
were
think
we
it's
in
a
Europe?
tactical thing. I don't think the answer to that question is because one of them is better than the other.
No, it's which
I
one
would put him
complements
over
the other
Laka
better.
because I think Abba has that game-changing kind of talent, and Martinelli would bring a similar level of energy to as Lacazette, but a little bit more youthful, a little bit
Yeah,
more.
I think that honestly
he's
that's
like a
fair.
black lab, you know. He just kind of runs around,
Well,
and you know.
and I think you're right because like Alba has that like striker mentality.
Yeah.
I think that and Martinelli is more of just like an energetic winger that is moving the ball, taking up space, kind of getting things going.
Yeah, I would say when
Yeah.
Alba's on his game, there's not too many strikers in the league that are gonna when he's thinking score.
Yeah.
Right.
You got maybe Kane and like Lukaku.
Well, not Kane this year.
Not Kane this year. That's what I'm saying. Like Kane when he's on his game, Lukaku when he's on his game, and Cristiano Ronaldo when he's on his game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So to your point, Alba always turns up in cup finals.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he scores when it's important.
So cup final tomorrow, Alba has got to play for him.
Yeah.
And I think Lacazette has got to come off the bench at like 60 or 70 minutes, and everyone has tired legs, and he's just running around like a chicken with his head cut off, like just running his ass off.
And I hate to pigeonhole him, if that's the right word, but Laka, I think, is a super sub.
I agree.
Yeah.
When he comes in, I mean, I saw the
He
Crystal
brings
Palace
a different
game.
level of energy.
Right, and when he stepped on against Palace, I was convinced. It was almost like a movie where you go, here's Batman, here's Superman, here's the guy, because
Oh Lord, he coming.
if
Oh Lord, he coming.
oh no, I thought you were like Omar coming.
No.
You know, like the chunky cat meme.
Yeah, no.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. Pour one out for Omar, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Laka, and there's guys Inzaghi, just the lore of leagues all over the world, that there's these guys that have these careers, mainly starting, but as they get older, 30 plus, they come on 15, 20 minutes, and like, what does he do? He scores goals. Does he pass? Does he defend? No, he scores goals.
Michael Owen went an extra like 7 years in the league doing that role. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And so I guess
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, for as little as he is as a manager,
Right.
was an absolute super sub for Man United.
what was the
He saved Fergie's ass several times.
fucking the 1999 final? I'll never forget. I hated both of those teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came on and did his damn thing.
and it's still the most shocking conclusion of a game.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because they have a documentary out there that I don't know. I should have probably like forced myself to drink battery acid rather than watch that. But to watch the '99 final, and it's just, man, Sheringham and him. Oh, Sheringham just. So here's my question.
Yeah, Sheringham, former
'Cause-
Spur at that time as well.
So, because I'm gonna have to go see a man about a thing in a minute, but
That's alcohol, not anything terrifying.
So, Mikel Arteta obviously played the same lineup today that he did last week.
Yeah.
Is this what we do going forward? Is play the same lineup? Because that was one of the criticisms under Wenger that Cesc Fabregas illuminated a long time ago, that a lot of clubs will be flexible and adjust their tactics and line up.
And Wenger did not.
Wenger
He
was
said,
like,
"This is the way we play.
And
we're
we're
going
to do it better
win
than
or
you."
lose.
right.
Yeah,
Whereas
this
other
is how
managers
we
are
play.
going, all right, we're going against Palace today, so
Here's
we're
how
gonna
we play against them."
Right.
Well, my thought on that is that, like, it's different if you do that as a matter of policy, as like a come stop me, but like, how many things have we tried that have not panned out, where either we're only getting the ball in, we're only getting forward on the left because of Tierney, or there's no one in the center to back people up on when a breakaway happens. Like, this is working right now. Like, I think from the way I look at it is that this is working. This is, like you said, the 4-4-2 is out of favor, but it is possibly what we are suited best to as a built squad right now. So I think what you do is you might slot a guy like Tierney, might come in when he's healthy, for Tavares and things like that. But I think you keep the formation and you keep the tactics until they don't work. And I think Arteta will pivot when they stop to work.
It's like gambling logic. You work with what's.
Yeah, you do what's.
If you're hot, keep
don't
doing
change
it.
something. Yeah, exactly. And then if things fall apart, then you reassess. And I think that's the difference. I think you're right. Wenger was very much like, this is our system. I just made Wenger sound like Spiro. I don't know why I did that. But, it's like, this is what we do. Come stop us. Where I think Arteta will adapt because we adapted to this.
I don't see us going to a back five. I just don't.
I don't see it either.
Well, no.
A lot of because Arteta's been saying, in his press conference, they asked him about William Saliba, and he said, I think there's a place for him, Ben White, and Gabriel in our club next year. And I'm like, great. And in my thought process, it goes, okay, that means we have two really good center backs starting, and then we have one really good center back available to come in every single game if the three of them are healthy.
Yeah,
and it kind of doesn't matter the two, but I think White and Gabriel are developing a really nice partnership. And it's like, William Saliba might play 30 games next year, but 16 of them might be as a substitute. You know what I mean?
But also,
And if I were him, I'd be happy with that.
Yeah, well, exactly. That's my thing is like, Trey is a hero, anticipating our needs.
Yep.
Yeah, like that's kind of where I'm coming from. It's like, you see these tweets like, it's hard. Saliba's not sure if he wants to be part of the fold or whatever. And you go like, look, man, I mean, I get that everyone thinks they're starting caliber and they should be playing every game, but that's just not the reality of it. People get hurt.
Yeah.
You get fixture congestion.
Yeah.
And especially if we do get into Europe, you're going to need a rotation.
Oh, big time. You're going to need 3 like really good center backs.
Right. And it's just like how often last year were we in a terrible position because we had no one to back up Tierney, or because we had no one to back up Gabriel when he went down.
Yep.
And like people are playing out of position. I mean, like Tom's boy Ainsley Maitland-Niles will play anywhere you put him. He'll play in goal if you want.
Yeah,
but that's not what
exactly.
he's meant to do.
No.
And so like, it's just funny. Like Jared and I were laughing about this. It's like, man, if you offered me like $50K a week to ride the pine and come in and make an impact once in a while, or even never come in, I'd be like, hell yeah. But I will admit that, like, as a top
That's
level,
because we're fans,
right?
So that'd be our dream to just be on the roster.
Well, not even a dream. It's just like it sounds like an easy job. Like as a top level athlete, the competitive nature is a thing that like is I can't.
You
want
wanna play.
You want to play. You want to win. You want to contribute. I get that.
Look at Ainsley Maitland-Niles' Instagram post. He said, "Listen, I just want to go where
be
I'll
somewhere
play.
where I'm wanted. Yeah,
I just want to be wanted, and I want to feel like I'm a valuable member."
Right,
of the
and
team.
so like there is an element of that. Like these they just built different, right? But also it's just
Hero.
like, look, if you can be part of it, like look at the bigger picture, look at what you're part of, and like understand that you are going to get your moments. If you just work within the system and make yourself available when you are needed, I feel like that should anyway be enough for somebody who is committed to the club for which they play. And it's just such a weird situation with Saliba because like it was I feel like it was like, holy crap, we got this guy. Like we signed him. It was a big deal.
And a lot of other people united, and a lot of other people
they wanted him.
Yeah.
And it's like we got him, and then we immediately just kind of doghoused his ass. And it's just like, I mean, I understand like there are things that he did that led to that.
Also, he was 18 years old.
Yeah, he's a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so our managers, because we've been through a couple managers, but I think, and Arteta sent him on loan again because he's like, I want to see him play a full 38 game season. And he's already saying, like 10 games of that season, he's already saying, because they go out there and watch him all the time.
Yeah.
He's already saying, I think there's a place for him here next year.
Yeah, but the thing is, he's got to want to be part of. He's got to want to be part. He has to want to take that place, which may not necessarily be starting center back every day. That's the issue.
Well, he's got to want to take what he's given, but be willing to fight for a better
more.
spot.
Yeah.
And if you can't do that, then you don't need to be playing professional football.
Yeah.
Take what you're given and then fight for what you want.
I always felt bad for him because he put out that elaborate video when he signed for us that he paid for on his own.
I was gonna say, watch out about Saliba elaborate videos. We don't want to get into that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
No.
We don't want to get into that.
No.
I think, and it's, I've never seen anything like this in my life.
One could say he paid for that other one.
Yes, he did.
So, to be sent out on loan like that is just, it's almost incomprehensible. It's almost like you go up to somebody in the bar like, hey, I want to go out with you. Cool, I want to go out with you too. And I'm like, all right, but I'm going to go out with these other 2 women for a year, and then I'm going to
see what happens.
And I'm going to come back at you, and you're like, wait a second now.
Yeah.
You wanted, where like somebody's like, hey,
There's a difference, though.
I'll give you a job, and you're like, okay, yeah, the job's here for you in 2023, and you're like,
I want one now.
I want a job now.
There's a difference between those situations, though, because it shouldn't be expected to be commonplace when you're going out with a woman for that situation to be. It shouldn't be expected to be commonplace when you get a job that's the situation. When your job is football, loans are commonplace.
Yeah, exactly. That's true.
Especially when
You're that young.
when you're
Yeah,
18 and 19 and 20.
Yeah, true.
Loans are commonplace. So you should know that is part and parcel of being a footballer is you may go on loan. And it's not like you're sitting there. So with his situation, with Guendouzi, he got sent on loan because we're like, fuck him, we need to just get him out somewhere.
Well, and also
with Saliba, he was sent on loan to develop.
Yeah.
Guendouzi was sent on loan because
to get away.
To get away. And
Right.
it's clear he's never going to play for Arsenal again.
He's never going to play for hard. I mean, at this point, is he going to factor for anybody?
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
but
he'll
Saliba,
play.
it was like the purpose was he was 18. We just want him to develop some more, go somewhere where he'll start every game,
Yeah.
just to get more game time.
And like that all makes sense. It's just, and maybe this is just the way journalism is, especially over there. But it's
They
like
want to
you-
make a story. They want to make
Right,
it
they want to make a story, but it's
dramatic.
like, is Saliba willing to? It's like, well, I mean, I don't know. Like, has someone asked him? And it's just like,
I mean, he's not Sergio Ramos.
Yeah,
He should be willing
yeah.
to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's
Sergio
19,
Ramos goes anywhere
yeah.
and he's like, listen, I expect to start.
Yeah.
I've earned that. Saliba's 19 or 20 years old. He can't,
Yeah.
he doesn't have the same, dick swinging power as a Sergio
Right,
Ramos.
right.
You know,
Well-
if you sign Virgil van Dijk tomorrow, he's like, listen, I expect to play every game.
Yeah.
Okay, Virgil. Yes, you
we
will play.
do that.
You will play.
Now, talk about swinging some dick. It's behind me, but Palace is still 1-0 up on City. Patrick Vieira, you know, I didn't expect
Big
this.
Patty.
Yeah, I did not expect this in his managerial
Comes
Premier
from
League.
Premier League,
Senegal,
yeah,
and he
debut.
plays for Arsenal.
Yeah,
Big
I mean, like,
Patty. It's got these guys. He's got these guys believing they can beat anybody they come up against.
And that came
Let me
up-
tell you something, because we escaped because of Lacazette.
yeah, I mean,
We
were
escaped. They
asked
almost
that-
beat us.
We were asked that
Yeah.
game.
Yeah,
But they're playing Man City right now, and they've outplayed them for 55 straight minutes.
Yeah.
when Benteke had
And
that,
Laporte got sent off like 10 minutes ago.
when Benteke had that one-on-one, not Benteke,
Edouard?
Edouard, and Ben White did that thing that Sunday League players do. It's like
They back off and back off.
I don't know, like at least put him on his left foot, force him into a corner, do something. But he just like back off,
well, no,
back off.
he's left-footed.
But he just didn't do anything. He just kind of contained. I mean, in his mind, he contained, and he allowed that goal. And I don't want to encapsulate and sum him up in that, but Ben White at that moment was just ooh. And there's a lot of people out there, not to the level that we talk about. We don't talk about Pepe, but fans of other clubs really bring up Pepe a lot because Arsenal paid 72 mil, and because we paid 50 mil. And I suppose, I'll point at that banner because it's then that like how we got Varane for this amount of money and you paid 50 for Ben White, and then people that can actually add 4 + 4 have pointed
Didn't they
out
also
that,
pay like 20 mil for Dan James, who stayed there for 18 months?
and yeah, I mean,
Well, and we've reached a point in transfer costs where like things have just gotten to where like that is the price.
Fred,
for
I got
quality
one word for
players.
United fans. Fred.
Yeah. Just one word. That's the only
Fred.
thing we need.
and also Ben White was
I
great.
rest my case.
Yeah.
They can all shut the fuck up.
and
Fred.
And Benjamin, we were supposed to call him Benjamin, but Benjamin,
I call him Benjamin.
he
We're on a first name
Benji.
basis.
Well, because he had that video where he said, and it's weird because his social media all say Ben, but he's like, actually, I go by Benjamin.
It's like, well then, okay.
Yeah.
Put that on your
Yeah. Which is also when you add somebody on social media or somebody puts something on social media, realize that most of the time that person is not behind that account. I mean,
Oh yeah, it's a handler. I mean, yeah, Gunners, come on now.
Yeah. And on my Twitter
Daniel
account.
Daniel Levy's nephews, is that what it was?
Yeah,
ran
Daniel
his
Levy's
account.
nephew, yeah.
The Spurs CEO's nephews ran that account, and some of y'all are still out there like,
Daniel Levy said no, he didn't. His nephew said.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't want to talk about that.
But yeah, no, I mean, as far like my whole thing about like you paid X for Y, like honestly, I look at United as like breaking like they set idiotic preferences. They set idiotic
well, they paid
standards.
80, they paid 80 mil for Harry Maguire.
Right.
How much
right.
they pay for Donny Van de Beek? He's played 6 minutes since he's been there.
Yeah.
Like they and clubs like them, and like the cities and the Chelseas of the world to our point that just like have Emirati money, and let's not even talk about Newcastle at this point going forward.
Yeah, they got money.
There's a new standard for just like this is what dudes cost. So you're gonna laugh at us for paying 72 million for Pepe? Well, we needed an attacking guy.
And
who could
Liverpool
dribble the
wanted
ball.
him too.
Liverpool
Yeah.
wanted him too, and that's what
United
dudes
were
cost.
looking at him. A lot of clubs were looking at him.
Like yes, you can get guys on the cheap if you're really good at scouting, but like if you want a top level guy, shit's gonna cost you money.
Yep.
So
and you just gotta hope he's not a bust.
Right,
And I
and-
still don't think Pepe is a bust.
No, he's not a bust, but it's just like saying, "Oh, you paid all this money." It's like, well, yeah, because that's what you have to pay to get guys that other people want.
Yeah,
Whether it worked out well or not is up for debate.
Yeah.
But like at the time, he was worth 72 to 2 or 3 teams.
Yep.
And we were the ones who happened to land him. So
Yep.
you know what? Was it maybe the best purchase? I don't know. But like you
Hell,
can't say, "Oh, you guys just grossly overpaid." Because like you said, Harry Maguire,
Yeah.
that's grossly overpaid.
I thought 32 was too much for Aaron Ramsdale. And
So
here
did
I
I. Well,
am.
yeah. I
Here
thought
I
Aaron
am.
Ramsdale and Ben White were both
Aaron
overpaid.
Ramsdale might be worth 62 at this point.
Yes, he is.
At this point, it's like, damn, we got the
gotta
steal of the
pee again.
century. So, it's. I hesitate to like. I mean, obviously, it hits harder with us because of the way our finances are. But like, let's give credit where credit's due. Like, I'm not a Kroenke fan. He's fucking with the NFL now with the whole like he wants basically the league to cover his legal costs for getting sued out of pulling out of St. Louis.
Yeah.
But they spent money. That was the thing. Is like they won't spend. We spent in this window.
Yes, we did.
And you can argue over whether it was wise or not, but it's looking like it was. And
I think so. And I admire it. And we talked about this a little bit offline because, we had Sven Mislintat, and he had this nickname about not something about like Diamond Touch or whatever. I don't want to call him Midas.
Midas, yeah.
But we're finally at this point, and I don't know, I'm sure there's an athletic article I haven't read, but almost all of our signings, Lakanga, Ramsdale, Tomiyasu, are precisely what we needed.
Yeah, I mean, do they have the flash? Were they the names that you heard out there? Not necessarily, but they've come in and done exactly what we needed to stabilize. You know, like.
And my question to you or anyone listening is, where we are right now, what roles need to be addressed? And a follow-on with that is, who should we sign? Because for me, I'm thinking, as much as we've upped Alba and Laka, I still kind of think a striker is the one. And I know we got Eddie when you have Balogun, but there's a lot of talk about Calvert-Lewin, and there might be some players that we haven't even addressed yet. And
apparently City just scored. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Is like, I don't know.
That guy's been a Man City fan for a
20
month.
minutes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Johnny Marr and the Gallagher brothers are the only ones that can claim without being derided.
Yeah, I mean, I think strikers in January are.
Sounds like a Frank Sinatra song.
Strikers in January.
Strikers in January, and then like there's a string movement behind it.
Yeah, that's like April in Paris, but strikers in January.
Is that? I mean,
April in Paris is a thing.
I'm asking, is that what we need? Because I'm sure someone out there is thinking we probably need.
Well, finishing is our problem, right? Like it has been.
We need goals.
But the question is, does that come from striker or from another
from
attacking
midfield?
Mid?
Right, because other clubs score goals from midfield.
Yeah,
and I'm envious of
Partey
that.
was very close to scoring one today.
Yep.
ESR today
one.
got one. I'd like to see. I still think Odegaard can bring some goals from midfield. I really,
And I want to be wrong. I want to be wrong on that one.
Yeah.
I mean, it is. He has the pedigree. He has all those, and it's a long season. Because we might be here in April. You never know. We might be here in April, top of the league. We might be top 3, and he might be that guy that he will have scored 10 goals, and I'll go.
Yeah,
I was wrong.
Who are we talking about?
Odegaard.
Okay.
Tom's question was, what do we need to?
What do we need to
bring
address?
in?
Like if someone, if a bunch of money falls off the back of a truck, first
another deep central midfielder.
Okay.
Like
God, because a lot of us were so hot and heavy for
Wilfred
Yves
Ndidi or
Bissouma.
Bissouma, yeah.
And then Bissouma was like, no.
I mean, at this point, I'd take Frank Kessié.
You know how I would
Guy
take
like that.
What's the guy from Villa? Latin last name.
That plays in that position.
Well,
What
he's
position does he play?
yeah, he's a central midfielder.
Okay.
He's pretty much the engine of that club, and I'm embarrassed because I
Douglas
saw him.
Luiz.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we may have soured that one because
I'm thinking any player from Villa, it's going to be, honestly, one of the most underrated players in the league, John McGinn.
Okay.
One of the
Yeah,
most
McGinn
underrated
scores
players
goals.
in the league.
But yeah, I think
He's really good.
midfield is the place. Like
We want a metronome.
Deep central midfield, like not a 10, more like an 8.
Right.
Yeah.
Or a 6-8 hybrid.
I mean, we need
six.
Santi. We need a Santi Cazorla.
Well, because Partey has been
or a Casemiro.
Yeah.
right.
you know.
Oh, Casemiro would be the dream.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people think that Partey is a holding midfielder because he tends to. But
He's an 8.
Yeah, he likes to get forward.
Or at best, he's a 6-8 hybrid. Ooh, Zaha just.
But we
that's a
want
pretty move.
we want someone whose preference is to be right there in front of the back four.
shield the back
and,
four,
and then Douglas Luiz.
Or a guy that can do it all, like N'Golo Kante.
Yeah, well,
if all of a sudden
well-
N'Golo Kante became available.
Yeah, well, he's
Well-
not. He's not.
Yeah.
But say what you will about Xhaka, Partey plays better when he knows Xhaka is next to and behind him.
I keep saying it.
I'm not saying Xhaka is the answer, but like a person who can, to y'all's point, be that deep lying guy.
And I think Lakanga is the long-term replacement for Granit Xhaka. That's
think
what I
so.
think he was bought for.
I mean,
that's
yes.
why I think he was bought.
But like he's not quite there yet.
No. And he's
So-
like 12. So
Yeah.
I think he's the long-term guy.
Yeah.
That's the guy that says we can sit him in that position next to Partey. He can kind of do all the things.
But here's the
You
other
know?
thing, like, you talk about what do we need, to bring it all back around full circle. This year, it's pretty much like 4 through 8 it could be anything.
Yeah.
And so, I honestly do. I think given United's struggles, they get a new manager, who knows, but I think we're in the mix for 4 or 5, without too much messing around.
I think Lakanga, I don't know much about him other than what Thierry Henry and Javier, the guy that runs Nighting.
We're gonna be done in 5 minutes. All right.
So, I think long term he's not Javier. But
Jesus Christ.
yeah, sorry. Your videos
the Michigan fan who looks like fat old kid
So-
Rock came in.
Yeah.
For
And
those
is
of
mad
us
that
who are
we're
not,
up- yeah.
those of us who are not familiar, and if anyone overseas listens, in America there's college American football that happens on Saturdays, and
Around noon, and
they
12:25. I'm sorry, around
and
noon. It's
they
11:25
turn up,
right
they
now.
turn up at our place,
our local, yeah.
and we're the ones that are in here 2 and 3 times a week, but they turn up in here, and they kind of
Expect to have the run of the place.
Yeah.
Yes, and there was, when we started this thing, it was us and the barman Trey, shout out to Trey, and the sound system.
Yeah.
That was supposed to be Oasis Radio, but since then I've heard nothing but fucking
Blink 182.
yeah, and the typical fucking date rape soundtrack
Yeah.
from the 90s. But the college football fans just come in and they hover, and they're all 60 plus, and they hover.
Yeah.
And they look at you with this.
How dare you be in my spot?
Right. That, yeah.
They're here once a week for 8 weeks. and
Right,
then
They got about 3 years left.
And they almost, they just want white glove service. They just,
Yeah.
they expect. Let's not talk about them.
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
to that point,
But
though,
that's what's going on. That's why
that
you
is
might
what's
have
going
noticed
on.
a flash in my camera
Yes.
there because the guy was up here
inspecting
fucking
what
being
that
nosy,
possibly
yeah.
could
So,
be in his spot. Yes.
I think what we're talking about is our needs, and we have an excellent defense right now.
Yes.
Clean sheet. A
Yes.
lot.
Yes.
9 unbeaten, 6 clean sheets, I think is what
And
we're at right now.
a lot of, and I'm not going to name them, but there are a lot of these boo boys, the old school Arsenal guys, and Feinberg knows who we're talking about. The you wasn't there. The guys,
Yeah.
the guys that I was told this morning at
The guys
Leicester.
that think that we can't be real fans because we don't live there.
Yeah.
Right, and the guys that hate Arsenal fan TV, and I'll just leave it at this. Arsenal fan TV, I look at them, I love them. Troops and Turkish and
Yeah.
Robbie Lyle, I've met them all in
Lee
person.
Judges.
Yeah, I've hung out with them. They're
Yeah.
cool dudes. There seems to be a certain demographic on that end. Now, I look at the demographic that hates Arsenal fan TV.
They exhibit this.
Yeah.
And it has a certain monochromatic
Yeah.
effect
Yeah.
that is
Yeah.
similar, and they
Hailing from the mountains of Caucasus.
and that is fantastic. Sorry. And I was at 12 Pins with Lee Judges, and I watched this guy confront Lee Judges and
Name
got
drop.
sorry and anyway, this guy got in his face.
Your
and-
arms must be tired. You're dropping all those names.
and he got in his face, and he's like, I'm tired of being called a racist because I hate Arsenal fan TV. You know, I'm not a racist, and he didn't do the typical because, my uncle dated a black chick back in 1975. But, when he finished, I told Lee, and Lee knows this, and anyone knows this. Well, I say anyone, but when you look at Arsenal fan TV, and you look at the people that hate Arsenal fan TV, there is definitely a difference in demographics.
What did you ask Lee? Were you like, how many people that come up to get in your face?
How many people? Yeah, you know what?
Of the people that get in your face.
How many people get in your face are black?
Yeah.
Fucking none.
And he's like, I
Fucking
can't
none.
recall
Yeah.
ever any.
And none of them will ever listen to this. But it's. I know correlation is not causation, and
No, but it's.
but not everyone that voted for Trump hates black people. Come on now. Come on now.
But no, I mean, there's an obvious divide. there.
and there's and so with that, I like Arsenal fan TV. I don't watch it all the time, and if I don't like something, I don't watch
yeah,
it.
yeah. You don't need. It doesn't need to be a thing. It's just like, I'm not gonna watch it right
Yeah.
My thing is people that say that those that are the AFTV profits from the bad, like the club doing bad, or that they want the
now. Want the club to be bad so they
do
can
bad.
complain about it. No, that's
yeah, they
ridiculous.
get views on the videos where the club does bad because they rant. And honestly, a lot of other club supporters watch those videos to troll us and make fun of us.
Yeah.
But if they all had a choice, Because,
all
like I
want
said,
us-
a lot of us have met a lot of these guys. If they had a choice, they would want Arsenal to win every fucking game. Damn the views.
Yeah,
Of course,
Yeah, no,
of
everyone
course.
Is here. Everyone is here for
Like,
the
I don't know if
victories.
you know Robbie Lau, the lead judges, but those guys are real Arsenal supporters.
Yeah, and here's where
Yeah.
here's where I was going with that. Mike put a message out, and I mean, I don't want to. Apparently, a lot of the fans were singing Arsenal boys on the bender. Robbie Lyle's a sex offender. That
Oh,
was a
God.
chant today.
Yeah.
Oh my.
And I'm going, okay, you can dislike the guy, and I know.
That's bang out of order.
Yeah.
Yes, it is, and Mike actually said that. That's bang. And let's think about it. As if I'm going to accuse someone of something, is there anything
And
worse?
worse than being a child,
And it's not
molester.
funny.
Yeah.
It's not funny. Like, if you're gonna fuck with Robbie,
Yeah.
fuck with him for, I don't know, like, you've always got a camera in front of
For
your
being
face.
big or being or
Yeah.
whatever.
Or I like,
Or
if it were me, I'd be like, Robbie, you're
the
like,
Don Robbie thing, you're rich, you're mansion, and your
yeah, or like,
helicopter. and
or
yeah.
I'll be like, Robbie, you're my age, like, why are you still wearing hoodies? Like,
Yeah,
hoodies
yeah.
are something that kids wear, something like that. But like, to
You
call
call
someone
a guy, that's
That's
out
a
of
bit
order.
for
Yeah.
a country that,
Doesn't have maybe the
has-
greatest.
I mean, we have free speech over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like to say Robbie Lyle's a sex offender and like and that
And
other
that's
stupid.
not free speech. That's not what free speech means. Like, free speech is like, free speech
can
doesn't
speak-
mean you can call somebody a sex offender and have there be no consequences.
Yeah, yeah.
Free speech means that the
Government can't tell you you
will
can't
not
say that, yeah.
persecute you
Right.
Yeah.
for the things you say unless
still- you're still gonna be held
they
accountable
consider
by
it
somebody.
incitement.
Yeah.
They consider it incitement.
Yeah.
But the government can't persecute you for things you
But-
say. But if you say something to the wrong guy and he punches you in your fucking face,
That's what you get.
He's not
Yeah.
denying freedom of speech.
No, he's just punching you in the face.
He's
and
just
being a
reacting
dick.
to you
Yeah.
being a dickhead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
You know?
I mean, you're right. Like, the bottom line is, like, every Arsenal fan, whether, you know, they be AFTV or us, wants to see the team do well and wants to see the team win, because that's why
Right.
we're here.
Absolutely.
and,
you know?
and the idea that they want Arsenal to lose
Just for the
views.
views is insane.
And
It's
you know what?
insane.
Fuck it. In Vino Veritas, she wore. It's at she wore and at Black
Yeah.
Scout. It's Gav and this guy Mark. And Mark, I saw he deleted his tweet because he was like, I also think they're going to lose today. They're going to lose today. And he deleted his tweet. They are negative people that thrive on negativity.
Yeah.
And like almost everything for them is either you wasn't there or I'm not a racist because I listen to black music and I
Yeah.
have black friends.
Yeah.
You can have black friends and listen
Newsflash,
to
that
black
doesn't
music.
make you a
Yeah,
racist.
that does not
Right.
mean anything. Yeah.
I'm married to a white woman. That doesn't mean that she's not racist because she married me.
And
It is possible to be racist and be married to have children of a different color,
Right.
to have friends, family, close acquaintances of another
she
color.
wore he tried to start his own station. Fucking nobody wants to watch it.
Yeah.
That guy Keynotes AFC, no one wants to see what he writes. No
Yeah.
one wants to
Yeah.
fucking read that.
But the bottom line is, we're all here to see Arsenal do well, and that's what we all care about.
And we're doing well.
And we are.
Long may it
And
continue.
We're doing well. Long may it continue. And it's probably
Mikel Arteta's
hopefully,
Red and White Army.
fingers crossed, going to continue, because our next game, Sunday the 7th, Watford, who may or may not deserve to be up. So let's hope that we keep the pressure on,
Yeah.
play as we should, and keep it on rolling.
Up the Gunners.
Up the Gunners indeed. And until next Sunday, I am Ryan with Tom.
Hey, in about 5 minutes, Tottenham get battered
Everywhere they go.
Tottenham get battered everywhere they go.
Everywhere
they go.
And along with Joey, we say goodbye, and we'll see you next time.
We
I love
out.
you, Sarah. Bye.